Boker Tov, good morning. We are Friday once more. We're here again. Well, we're always here, but we're here again. We're here to sit with, to be with, to learn together, to open our eyes and our hearts and to find a place for ourselves within tradition and ritual. So today, Friday once more, is so close to Shabbat, and Shabbat is so close to Pesach, and Pesach, the second day, is so close to the Omer counting, and it feels like a lot of things squished into one. So I thought today I would just take only a few moments of your time, because everybody's doing what they're doing and busying ourselves, to go over some of these things. When we think about Shabbat, we think about what we know already, which is a day of rest, or some of us think about it as a no-work day, or some of us think about it as a time to light candles. Some of us think about Shabbat as when we were kids, whatever it was. Today I dropped Ellis off at school. I had to bring something in, so I actually went in the front door. Usually I drop him at the door or one step in, and the entire place smelled like challah for the last time. And so I said, "Oh, it smells so good in here." And Ella said, "Last challah before Passover." And I thought, wow, like, who thought to mention that to him or to them as the kids that were getting dropped off? The difference between challah's puffiness and matzah's flatness. That Shabbat calls us to be puffy like clouds, to be able to feel like we're floating after being pushed down and stifled all week with whatever it is that calls us to, to do, to be, to experience, to just feel bogged down. Shabbat comes and it's challah, and you're like, wow, I'm on top of the world. I get a break, 45 minutes or 25 hours, whatever it is. Shabbat changes it up. And quickly we go from Shabbat to Pesach, to reminding ourselves of the leaving of Mitzrayim, the narrow places, or the exodus from Egypt, as it were. We think about, last night he told me something. Could you believe that Pharaoh used a long whip to hit them, to hit the Jewish people in the back so they would work faster, that would just make them work slower because they are hurt. And so I said, that is true. I never thought about it like that. I always think about, when you hear about a slave and somebody getting whipped, it's like they don't want to be whipped, so they spring into action quicker. But in his brain, that was a crazy idea. Because why would somebody do that? It would just make you move slower. And that move was slow. It was a slow process. It was days that were going on. It was months and years, but it was days of figuring out how to get out of there. We think about in Pesach something that doesn't often get spoken about, which was Nachshon. People are like, oh, Moses split the sea with God's help. But you need one of those first steppers. You need one of those people that takes the first step. Nachshon, brave. Pesach reminds us of our own bravery. It is to say that we take that fluffy cloud of Shabbat Challah, and then on the finger snap or the tick of the clock, here we are eating the bread of affliction, being brought down, being brought low, flattening ourselves out, maybe taking out the arrogance of every day. I'm so privileged to have this, but look at my ancestors who had that. The reminder of the flattened. Life is good, and then all of a sudden it's not as easy. But sometimes we need to be brought to that place, not that I think life shouldn't be easy, but the realization that, with very similar ingredients yield two different things. There are times for challah and there are times for matzot, for matzah. And so Pesach is the reminder of all of those things that we've experienced throughout our history and not really feeling free as Jews in these moments, being concerned for all of us who are victims of anti-Semitism and hate in the world. And Pesach this year also reminds us again of those that are enslaved to the pharaohs of now, to Hamas, our captive, that are the slaves of the victims. They're victims of terrorists. And then we move through to the second day of Pesach when we begin counting the Omer, the 49-day, 7 weeks of 7 period of time that reminds us that we're coming through Mitzrayim, we're coming from the narrowness to the expanse, and we're called to leave our habits of body and mind, the narrow vision that distorts our ability to act and love with generosity. Yetziat Mitzrayim is going forth out of Egypt. But I think that that's not just something of our history. That's something that we're called to do, or we're forced to do every single day. It's a continual practice of leaving an attitude, leaving a belief, leaving a behavior that has kept us bound in isolation and fear and anxiety and worry and sometimes maybe excitement even. There are some thrill seekers, of course. But the Omer period of the second day of Pesach to Shavuot is the reminder of coming from Mitzrayim, the freedoms of that, to revelation, being ready to receive Torah. And so we're going to continue to do this process together. It's a lot of things for us to do. We can't forget where we came from. We can't push away where we are. We can't have a clouded vision of where we're going. And so my hope and my prayer and my wish is that this season of Pesach and Omer counting helps us to soften and strengthen our hearts, to be able to respond to one another, and to be aware and open to all that life brings, and to meet it with compassion and generosity. May the calls of this season help us to release constriction and fear so we can step into the fullness of life and offer our own gifts. Pesach comes with lots of teaching, lots of ritual. And I hope that it helps us believe that transformation is possible, even if it was so long ago for our people. May love fuel our devotion and courage. May joys lift us up. And may we find strength and resilience, resolve, contentment in our hearts. Beloved friends, we'll be back here at 6:30 tonight to welcome Shabbat, 9:30 tomorrow morning. Then we hope that you will have Pesach in whatever way you have it for yourself, for the ones you love. And then beginning Saturday night at 9:30, we will start our Omer counting together. Just so you know, we will be away from Sunday night until Thursday night. So if there is a chance that I will not be able to be there live just based on whatever we're doing, I absolutely will make sure to have that day pre-recorded at whatever time and post it at 9:30. So it will be live daily, done live daily. And if not, I will make sure that at 9:30 each night, starting Saturday night, for 49 days, we will count the Omer together to bring ourselves to a better place, more aware, more authentic than ever, as we approach the season of the Omer, as we bring ourselves to revelation at Sinai together. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you. Azis Pesach to all of you. Happy Passover for whatever it is. Find some freedom in at least one moment during Pesach. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai. Have a great day, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Bet and Jennifer, Amy, Elisa, the others that are here that didn't check in. Thanks for being together today. We'll see you at 6:30.